So now just to back up a little bit and talk about Super Insight and the tool itself, right? With Super Insight, I think it's it's a little bit more of a story as to, well, how did the product, even come to happen, or what was the vision behind it, and how do we come up with it? And that really starts with our bread and butter at Zeb is really working on these, core customer problems. We have products, it's not our main primary focus area. We're all about understanding a customer and the business problem that they have, and see how we can digitally transform their business and incorporate and take them to the next degree of technology. And that pretty much at all times involves incorporating AI into their business at this point in time. And we're a very AI forward digital transformation company, right? With that said, with Super Insight came to us when we met, one of our enterprise logistics customers, who is pretty much constantly operating around the reporting and data that they have to make data driven decisions on their business that affect the day-to-day operations within that really transform it, like with those decisions, transform into actual dollars that affect the business, and how it transpires from there. That was enterprise logistics business came to us with a very large problem of the fact that they have pretty much almost 7,000 different reports that are present on multiple different reporting platforms, Metabase being the primary reporting platform for that. And they really wanted us to, and they have this large overhead of reporting requests, even while supplying these, even while having these 7,000 readily available reports. And that just caused a large backlog on their data analysts to get any actual work done, and actually working on anything but report these simple reporting requests and helping suffice that, and actually work on core things that would, affect the business in a much more important way, rather than getting backlogged with all the reporting requests and that they were receiving. This was the problem. And then to us, what this translated to, and this is very early on, I would say, AI implementation. And so when we saw this, we saw the opportunity that AI presented in both its understanding of, natural language, and being able to understand what these business operational users are asking, to who want these end reports, and then also being able to have that complex technical reasoning ability and understand the underlying data schema business operates on. And then from there was really trying to bridge the gap, right, where we take this, large data sets that we have that actually serve as the underlying data for these reports, along with the natural language, very business specific questions that the users have, along with the, user specific context. And by bridging the gap between these two aspects, you end up with a tool that can basically take any question that is very business specific, has jargon that is specific to the role that user plays within that company, and then is able to break down that question and then map it towards the underlying data set of that business, and then come back with an actual report that, clearly has what exactly they were looking for to begin with. We then saw from here we can even take this levels further, and we'll get to it in more detail, but turn these reports into visualizations. And then once we have an understanding on the previous data, now take that core understanding of the historical data to help drive these questions into a little bit of a outcome-based predictions for what is the future going to look like. From here, we've seen that with Super Insight implemented, we've seen that businesses are able to get a 10x faster question to insight answer rate, along with a 53% cost savings in the overall time that they're, actually spending on, like, overall cost that it takes to actually build these reports itself. And then an overall 90% reduction in the manual effort that it's going in to perform, and the manual effort that it's going in to understand the report request itself from the various business operation it's coming from, and then be able to actually produce it. So this has been, a complete slash in the actual time analysts take towards, getting data, really taking, I think what one customer was saying, going from a pennies business to a nickels business was the phrase they used once they had this implemented. And that's exactly the way we see it. And that's the way we see AI as well, where it's really about taking something that you already have core and a very business specific, company organization specific, and then being able to utilize that. And that the thing that you're utilizing is that core data set in this whatever structure that you currently have that in.